after a quick battery change. So one of the things I'm going to do is, this shelf is actually exactly upside down right now, so I'm going to get some very long screws when this is all done, because keep these 18 inches apart, which means I can hit the steel. So I want at least one screw going all the way through the brace into the steel. And I may or may not do that depending on how it feels when I'm done. And I'm just going to tack some stuff for now just to get everything secure. Then I'm going to put some screws in from the backside. That's going to work fine. By 4 wants to split there, so I'm going to put the rest of them through the plywood into the 2x4 instead of the other way around. So this part's going to go against the wall, so I don't need anything back here. So I'm going to need a piece here, piece across here, and a piece here. And I think what I'll do is I'll build a U out of 2x4s and then screw the whole thing on. So I'm going to need an 18-inch 2x4. Surely have some 2x4s around here. If not, I'll use the table saw to make some 2x4s out of 2x6s. Well, I screwed that up. No, I didn't. I thought I did. So this is how the battery box is going to be oriented. So I'll be able to screw this part into the steel beams, and I believe she's going to hold. So we'll go set back up out in the trailer and go from there. Alright, so I decided I'm going to have to pull this off of here, this piece, so I can have enough room. How close? I think I'm too close. I'm trying to get close enough so that you can see everything, but not so close that it gets crazy. So that's the part where you see the bare metal is the very nose. And the reason I had to pull that panel off is because I'm lining up with the steel on each side. So I've got to line that up, and that panel right there was in the way. So what I'm going to have to do is alter that panel to go around this box once I get it built, or once I get it hung. It's obviously already built. So let me throw some screws in. None of these wires go down, so I don't have any. They're all up here. The only one that goes down is this guy right here. and that goes down to the tongue. So I'm not worried about hitting any wires or anything behind here. So let me get her tacked up. I'm gonna make a couple of measurements because I don't want it too high. I'm gonna be able to lift the battery in and out. So I'm gonna need to give myself enough room that I can lift the battery up and over those 2x4s. So the battery's about 10 inches tall. So I need like 11 inches of clearance over and above the top of those 2x4s. So this is actually going to come down a decent amount. So set 11 inches. So the top of the 2x4 is going to need to be about right here. Right here where the beam is. Which is lower than I was thinking, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to tack this to the plywood right now with some 1.25" drywall screws. I'm not expecting that would hold the weight of the battery, but I just want to get it up there, and it'll hold the battery long enough for me to just make sure we're in good shape with what we're doing. And then once I get it up here and make sure everything's going to work all right, I'm going to put one screw in and then level it. And I want to put her in forward. Alright, that'll hold it for now. Guess I need to tack that. I'm just going to tack this one because I know it's not level. Well, I just realized I don't need a level for that because the trailer is way not level right now. That's great. Pulling wires out. So we are at 11 3/8 over there. I'm gonna hang this. That should hang there nicely. Pull this guy. It's funny, I have 2 screw guns out here. There we go. Should be square now. But it's not. Definitely not come back up. So this whole thing's got to move anyway. Don't like it. This is kind of tough to do. Up better. I don't know if I should measure from the floor. That piece of plywood looks pretty. Silver 11. Come on. Split too much. That's 11 1/8 over there. And 11 1/8 over there. Finally, I like it. All right. So again, I would not try to keep this as the only means of support. I'm going to run some longer screws into these steel beams, but I just want to make sure we can get the battery in there. It's pretty good. I don't think that battery would bounce out of there, but I'll make some kind of hooks or something and I can maybe bungee it or whatever, but it's low enough that I can see, and I can see my connections and all that stuff. So now I'm going to get some longer screws and probably going to have to pre-drill some holes in those beams because they are steel. And if I can get 2 good screws in those beams, I'll be pretty happy, but I'll go ahead and toe screw everything else into the plywood. I'll basically over engineer it to the point where I'm not worried about it. All right. All right, we're gonna go up and take off that weight bag off of the clamshell, and I'll show you guys one last shot of everything done up here. Yeah, this caulk is pretty solid now. So that's where the wires go through the top of the trailer. As you can see, it's pretty well sealed up. Shouldn't be any leaking problems. These things compress down onto the wires. There's no leaking problems there. And then you've got your 2 solar panels. I don't know if I'm going to, because it is nice to be able to put stuff on top of the trailer, and I would have to design a rack that kind of went over the panels and cleared everything, but I can't see where that would be a good idea, just because I don't, I'm trying to throw a ladder or something up here, I can just see smashing those panels. But that's the final install on the outside. That's done.